Hello and welcome to Pisces Moon Astrology. I'm your astrologer, Kate Leonard, and I'm excited to explore the stars with you. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the week of November 2nd through November 8th, and we've got a lot going on because we've got the celestial lovers, Mars and Venus, both changing signs this week. Lots of movement, lots of energy change, and I think it's going to be really exciting. I did want to take a minute and thank all of you for being here. I'm just so grateful always for you taking the time to be part of this thing that I do, and I hope you find value in it. And I also wanted to thank so many of you for reaching out and expressing condolences about me losing my beloved dog, Seeger. You touched my heart, and I am truly grateful. I also wanted to announce that I will be traveling for some days, and so there will not be an episode nor a Substack next week. And sorry about that. I will get back on it as soon as I'm back, but I did want to give you that heads up. So now let's get into this planetary movement. On November 4th, we've got Mars moving into Sagittarius. This is quite a big deal. We are going to get fired up and passionate about long-term goals, big visions, the big picture kind of stuff. You guys, this is the month to really look out ahead. You know those exercises that people do sometimes when they're trying to help you get motivated and focused? They're like, where do you want to be in 6 months? Where do you want to be in a year, 5 years, 10 years? This is truly the time to do that. Get those journals out, or what are those things called? Those mood board things that you manifest with, right? Get those things out and look big picture. Where do you want to be in 6 months, a year, 5 years, right? The sky's the limit on this one. Look out as far as you want to look out. Do you want to have 3 books written? Do you want to, and I'll talk to you writers about why you're especially included here. Do you want to be married and have 2 kids? What do you want to do? Do you want to do you want to own your own company? This is that time, right? Look out there and really get clear on what do you want to be when you're a grown up, right? No matter, trust me, I'm really old and I'm still asking that question. But what do you want to be down the road? Where do you want to be? With whom do you want to be? All right. It's a really good time for that. And you'll be passionate about it. You'll feel it. And that's the other thing I would say. Mars is not about, let's think this through with our financial planners. No, Mars says take your financial planner and stuff it. This is not really the time for that. Although we're getting there. We're getting there. I'll talk to you about that in a second now that I look at the planets. But Mars is the fire. It's not all the nuts and bolts. We're not in Virgo, right? We're not talking about all the nuts and bolts. First I'll do this, then I'll do that. In fact, Sag is not good at that. Sag is not really wanting to talk the details. And Mars is passion, right? He's not wanting to think through all of that stuff. He's wanting to put the energy behind it. And let me tell you, you want to manifest, you want to cast your spells, you want to do your pagan rituals, you want to have really powerful prayers to whatever you pray to. You do you. Mars is the fire, and the fire is what manifests. If you don't have the passion, you're going to get wimpy little outcomes. This is that passion, and Sagittarius is the vision. Okay, so this is a really good time. I love it a lot. Now, there's never only one thing going on, right? It couldn't be so easy, although I love all of this. Don't get me wrong. Don't let me scare you about this. I love all of this. As soon as Mars crosses into Sag on the 4th, he is exactly and immediately opposing Uranus. Uranus is in Gemini. So The opposition makes it tense, but I don't think it's the tension of battle. Now, Uranus is in Gemini, which has a lot more to do with little movement, right? Gemini is about, let's talk about it, let's get together, let's network. Yeah, bring that energy in for sure. Absolutely, because we've got Uranus saying, wait a minute, let's just not sit at home with our vision boards, right? Uranus over there in Gemini is bringing that Gemini energy and saying, let's talk to people about it. Let's express this passion, right? Let's not keep it to ourselves because there might be connections to be made. But the bigger energy that I kind of love about this opposition is Uranus is the rebel. Uranus is the break the chains that bind us. Think outside of the box. Sag has that quality, not in the rebel way, but in the I'm not going to be contained. I've got a big vision to manifest. Uranus is saying, let's go even a little wild with that. Like this big vision. Let's get a little wackadoo with it. Let's dare to dream. But really dare to dream our authentic dreams. You want to be married with 2 kids and throw in the rest of it. What else? And you want to have a horse and have a homestead in Northern Washington. I don't know what it is. You guys do you. A penthouse in Manhattan. I don't know. Break out of the box. Dare to dream big. Don't let, other people or the limiting tapes that you've been fed since you were, in the womb. Don't let those limitations box you in. And Mars is passion. So Mars is like, oh, heck yeah, let's go. I can get energy for that. I can put fire behind that. They're in opposition, which actually for Mars is kind of a comfortable thing. Mars in a different position, I would say, is going to fight Uranus, but not in this Sagittarian space. I think the opposition is just adding that tension. You know how, Sagittarius is the archer. I don't know if you've ever done the bow and arrow thing. You know how when you pull the string back on the bow and arrow and it gets really, really taut and then boom, you let it go and that's its power. That means it's going to fly far. That's what I think this opposition is. That string being really, really taut, and then you let it fly, and your wild, quirky, wonderful long-range plans are like, yeah, we are soaring toward that target. I don't know. Am I too excited? Maybe I'm already feeling this energy, but I don't think I'm too excited, honestly. I think this is going to be fun. Now, the other thing going on that I hinted at earlier but didn't get into is Mars is only, when he crosses over on the 4th, he's only 4 degrees away from Mercury, who's already in Sag. Mercury rules Gemini, where Uranus is. So I think that's another reason I don't think this opposition is a bad thing. I think it's going to be really, really energized. That's how I think it's going to play out. So Mercury is what? Our ideas, our mind, our communication. So these plans, right? These are new ideas. These are long-range plans. Mercury is going to help us do that and make all of that come together. You writers out there, or any content creators or people who communicate for a living, writing, speaking, doing trainings. Mercury's about education, right? So all of you people, this is time to really think big. Start making your work plans for the year, coming up with new, innovative, remember Uranus, innovative ideas, big, new, exciting projects. I love it. I really love it. And I think we're going to get some great writing out of this. Great content. I think good conversations are going to be had. That's the other thing. We've got this Gemini Mercury energy involved. Network, network, network. I know there are times when we're advised, like, oh, you're making these new plans. Keep them to yourself for a little while. Let them percolate. Don't share them all over the place yet. There are some beliefs that you can like diffuse the energy by doing that. Not this week. This week, you get out there. I mean, don't tell the guy standing on the street corner, maybe, right? But your friends, your network, your tribe, and look for people that just cross your path. I think this is a good time to just jump on synchronicities and all of that, just the luck that the universe sends us, right? But I do think that talking, sharing, you may share your plans and somebody's like, yeah, but did you think about this? And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, that was the piece I needed, right? I like it. I really, really do like it. Now, here's the other thing. I just want to give you a heads up that on the 10th, Mercury goes retrograde. So we've got this energy for a while. Don't think that just because we're going to be going back and rethinking and revising, hey, all great stuff, whether it's ideas, business plans, novels, whatever it is, right? All great stuff needs to go through a refining process, go through revision, right? That's how we get to goals. We get an idea, we talk to people, we revise some things. Yeah, we're going to be going through that. So I just want to give you that heads up. That's going to happen. Mercury is basically conjunct Mars. They're within 2 degrees on November 10th. Now, let me tell you, Mercury and Mars are now barreling towards each other. So that energy that we've had, yes, we are going to be doing some revisions, some do-overs, all of that kind of stuff. Now, back to this week. On November 6th or 7th, depending on where you are, Venus leaves home territory. And she's moving into Mars, where she's in detriment. This is a much less comfy space for Venus to be in. I will be honest with you. She doesn't love being in Mars's kingdom so much, all right? Because those are really, she's like, what the heck do I do here, right? The goddess who wants everything to be smooth and comfortable and is all about warm relationships. She's now in fixed water Scorpio, the land of Mars, which is the opposite of her energy. And yeah, she's not as happy. So what would I expect here? Oh, also, as soon as she crosses over into Scorpio, she's making a square with Pluto in Aquarius. What's Pluto? Power struggles. Now, normally power struggles that lead to deep transformation and bring about something good, but that doesn't mean it's so fun in the getting there. All right. So I'm giving you a little heads up here. I'm expecting some breakups. I'll explain. Don't start crying and click off yet. Okay. But I'm expecting some breakups. I'm expecting some relationships really of all different kinds to maybe end or have to be really deeply transformed. And there's the key right there. Who's going to break up? If you're in a relationship that doesn't have weight, that doesn't have depth, Scorpio is deep. It is fixed water. It's, as deep as you can go. And this is not the depth of the ocean like Pisces, that we've got movement and currents. Think of a frozen over lake or pond. This is things buried under that ice, really held deeply in water. It's our emotions. So if there are any relationships that are a little flimsy, a little surface, and you're kind of wondering, does this have a future? No. I will just tell you right now, if it's flimsy, unless it goes through a deep transformation that I don't think, Pluto, right? That I don't think is going to be easy. It might take some real warrior battle. And Venus is not in great shape in Scorpio. So do I think many people are going to transform seemingly frothy relationships into deep ones? No, I don't think many people are going to make that transformation. I'm sorry. I know this is really heavy, but I'll get to the silver lining. I promise. Try to stick with me here. And I'm not saying that everybody's going to break up. If there's depth to the relationship, and again, look at your own natal chart. What house is Scorpio? This could be your creativity. This could be, your literal relationship. It could be your relationship with money. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody's husband, wife, lover is going to walk out the door. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. You've got to look at your natal chart. But like I said, if something is not either already very deep, or if it doesn't have the potential of getting there, it's probably going to go away, right? It's probably run its course and going to be done. The good thing about that, remember those long-term goals that we've been talking about this whole episode? How many of you, now don't speak from your emotions, really, really, how many of you want a superficial relationship as part of your long-term goals? How many of you are looking out there into your 5-year plan going, gosh, I really hope I have some lightweight, superficial whatever in my life? Really? None of you, right? I know that. I know that. So that means if that's what's in your life now, it's got to go. And this could be the time when that happens. Yeah, this could be the time when that happens. Now, the other thing that can happen, and here's the bigger part of the silver lining, those relationships that do remain, do have depth to them, they will go deeper. This is the time to really just deep dive with whatever, whoever that is, and make it even more real, right? Make it even more true, deep, lasting. The square to Pluto is there. Look at Aquarius. Who could you be having problems with? That's most likely coming from that Aquarius house in your chart. This square could also be, depending on where it is, it could also be something like while you're really deep diving with, say, a romantic partner, maybe that's not going so well with your boss because that's not where your head is right now, right? So you kind of have to look at where that square is landing, and it might give you a sense of where this power struggle thing is going on. Okay. Or you may be deep diving with somebody that your family has always gone like, really? You're getting deeper with that person? We didn't see that coming, right? I don't know, but there is some power struggle element. But in the long run, the relationships that are meant to be, the relationships that legit could be part of that long-term plan, they'll get deeper and better. They will get deeper and better. So it's an interesting week, right? Some of us are going to go through things that we're really, not so freaking thrilled about. But in the long run, I think even those events that could happen this week, I think that we're going to be grateful eventually. And also remember, keep this in mind, whatever you're going through this week, especially where relationships come into play. On what day is it? November 19th. So looking out just a bit here, that Mercury retrograde is going to go into Scorpio. So what does that mean? Some of this stuff that's going on with Venus, yeah, there's going to be some do-over energy. And that Mercury is in a very interesting grand trine that week and a very blessed grand trine that week. So could we have power struggles, go through endings or near endings maybe this week, and then come back and revisit and save the day, save the relationship when we hit November 19th and moving forward from there? Absolutely, because you know what else is happening right around that time? a new moon in Scorpio, so new beginnings. All right, so it could be that we have this power struggle this week in some Venus kind of matter, right? Relationships especially. And it looks like an ending that we then go back and really transform with the Mercury retrograde. It could be that when Mercury retrogrades back in there, we start something new completely. All right. So this story is not done. I mean, what story is ever done, right? So don't fret. Let it play out. Just go with the flow. But do know that there can be some challenging things in relationships this week. I don't know. I'm optimistic still, I have to tell you. I am thinking there could be some hard stuff, but ultimately, I think this is going to play out well. I do. That may be my crazy optimism, but that's where I'm at. So I think that's what I've got for you this week. And one tiny warning that I forgot to throw in there, that Mars Uranus thing, expect impulsivity. Expect impulsivity. So if this is in like your money house or something, be a little aware of that. You could go on like an impulsive spending something. I have to tell you, this is happening in my 8th house. That's combined resources where debt lives. Yeah, watch out for the impulsivity. That's all I got to say. All right. So I'm looking forward to an exciting big week. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. And if not all of it is good immediately, I think it's going to end up good. And yeah, I hope that was helpful. And again, thank you so much for everything, really, just for everything. And I will be missing next week, and I will definitely miss you, but I will be back the week after. And until then, you know what to do. Go out and seize the energies of the stars. This is my wish for you always, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. Bye.